So I guess welcome everyone. My name is Thomas. I'm here with Loic and also all the Fata Morgana team. Well, first of all, guys, welcome. It's nice to have you there.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you in France, and I'm really excited about seeing you play in the next couple of days. So yeah, we were wondering, because it's been a couple of times that you are traveling in France to do some competitions. First of all, like, what do you think about the French chase tag community? Do you feel like you're better than them? Do you feel like they're interesting? Like, give us some feedback.
Okay. Can start.
So I think about the French community is a really big community that have a lot of experience. Also, they're really dedicated to build the quads and to train professionally. Okay. I think it makes the level way higher than I thought. Okay. And we feel actually like came here to more to learn. You know, we maybe came like with the attitude of we come to win, we come to be competitive. But actually,
first of all,
first of all, we came to learn. Yeah, because in France you have all this knowledge, all this quad IQ that we don't have, and so this is what makes it more special for us.
You're saying that you don't have that knowledge, but on the last competition you did in Lyon, you actually won. For the people that didn't see it, congrats, first of all.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Were you surprised to win? Did you expect like a different result, or was that just natural to you?
I think that when we came to all of these competitions, we don't think that we must win. We simply love this discipline. We love this sport. We play with our heart. We love it, and when you love it, unfortunately you succeed. You success in this.
So the love of the sport is why you're winning.
Yes.
So you came from you're the only team in Israel right now. Second team now, Sandstorm started. You started even before World Chase Tag 5, training in your gyms and doing chase tag activities and everything. Can you tell us more about what you did before joining WCT 5 that made you do already a strong performance in your first competition?
So maybe let's explain how it all starts.
Yeah, we started it before the coronavirus, 3 years ago. I remember that I saw it on YouTube, on Instagram. I saw, wow, it's like new discipline in parkour. It's like not speedrun, it's not freestyle. And I really liked it. So I asked how we can join it. Okay. I remember I took with Christian Undermien. He told us if you want to compete, you need to open your team. So we started to recruit people, to check them, to do exams of parkour sprinting interviews. At first we played outside. We found the park. We bring a lot of our equipment, started to play. It took a lot of time to get here. Because there was coronavirus and a lot of obstacles on the way, it was crazy.
All the lockdown was
crazy. For everyone that was taking a hit, just we had many events and then we had to stop for 2 years. So it took a big hit to the thing. Now it's starting again with more and more events. And for people that follow you on Instagram, they can see the way you train. You have a very specific way of training compared to some other teams. Some teams, they use the quads that they have, or they do more parkour training or something. While you have a lot of experience with parkour, it's obvious when you train, you put a lot of emphasis on sprinting, walking in the sand as well, changing directions, diving through small bars in your gym or something. Did you do that before, or did you only focus on that when you started playing chase tag?
When we started, we didn't expect that we will come here, to this level. And like me, when I realized it, I told all the teams that we need to have a training plan for everyone, all week, sprinting, change directions, diving, and we started to work. And after some of months, you see the improvement of each of us. Yeah. When we come here and we see the quad, we already know what we should do because we planned it before.
When you have access to a quad like you did in Lyon, when you're doing in Toulouse, you come already with a game plan for the competition, but also for a game plan for the training. You're okay, we're not as good as we should on that obstacle or that technique, and we're going to spend all the training time on this because we can't do it at home. That's harder to make at home without the quad. Yeah, that's very good way of training.
We're coming. For example, there's competition. We won't try new things because it's bad through the games. So we will do only things that we are in control with them. And
you were the only team, I think, at World Chase Tag 5 that went that far without a quad. Every other team like had a 12-meter quad, like Apex, Parkour 59, they had a 12-meter quad. Fat, obviously they can train sometimes in the garden, like at the Devos. Kimeo, they had like an 8-meter quad. Everyone had access to some quad, and you were the only team that came so far without a quad. Do you think that's a performance you can do again, like in WCT6? Because you've done strong performances like in Lyon, probably like in Toulouse and everything. Or do you think at some point, if you don't have a quad, that's going to become an issue to like keep reaching the highest level?
I think you can.
Maybe we can keep it like that, and
because no, it's really like something mentally, because when you don't have all conditions, you work so hard, you're on with this. You know, when you have the quad, you're like, okay, I have it, let's go train. You're going down, I think. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Stop it. We don't
Zero quad in Israel.
No, it's enough. We'll continue playing with the ropes outside in parks. It's okay.
Quads are overrated. We don't need
Then
quads.
you develop like a very high level of training without the quad. So it shows that you don't need a quad to become a good team. Even though like having the quad, as you said, it helps the quad IQ, automatism, learning more the routes and everything. But if you do that work, like I'm sure you watch the videos of Chase Tag and you try to analyze and you already have a game plan.
Yes.
You can do that and do training without a quad. A quad is not necessary to train Chase Tag. Anyone can play Chase Tag anywhere.
Yeah.
The quad just makes it more fun or more like competitive or something, but you can play without it.
I think as the level goes higher in World Chase Tag, so you need as fast as possible the quad, because you have to practice.
Because if you want also to get to the high levels, you must. Now you must it.
That's what, so Frank Mejia and Mark Bowles from American Parkour, we talked with them. And that's what they said, that like the past few years has been like an arms race where people were just like, okay, I'm just going to train more Chase Tag. And now I need a quad. And now I need to watch the videos. And now I need to do the strategy. And now I need to do the conditioning. And it's just like the teams that can get professional the fastest will have like a very big advantage compared to teams that just take it lightly. We've had teams at WCT5 that were very strong already, but probably didn't take the game as serious. And they just they couldn't compete at the same level compared to like guys like you. That, I mean, to me, when I play Chase Tag, if I want to be good, I have to accept sometimes I'm gonna hit a knee, sometimes I'm gonna get a bruise. Sometimes I can't just be perfectly clean, because when you're too clean, you're too predictable, and that's like.
You need to jump.
You need to commit to it.
Yes.
Actually, I think we're so obsessed with the game of Chase Tag, with the idea. So we're getting better and better. We want to win. We don't want only like to feel like yes, we're winning, have the trophy and stuff. No, we want to win the best teams. We want to be between them. We want to compete them, and also we want to share our knowledge with them so they can share it with us. We will develop the discipline of
And because you're talking about the best team, is there a team that you would like to face?
Yes, again, we want to face for today. We want to face Parkour Seconor 59. I told it good. I said, okay. Yes.
The vice champions.
Yes. So they are. We really think they are a good team. They have a crazy quad experience. They are really fast.
Also athletes.
They are really good athletes. Yes. So we want to meet them, like to share some knowledge, and also to compete face to face. Finally, we want to meet also a Blacklist. Okay. So we know they are a really strong team. They're really.
They're one of the historic teams as well. With Mauro and Eugene, they were like one of the first teams to compete.
Yes,
every competition.
It will be nice, yeah. But I think it's for all over the world teams, the worldwide teams. Everyone wants to compete against Apex. So,
probably.
You played Apex already.
Yeah.
You played Apex.
All of them.
Yeah.
You played Apex Sun as well. Apex.
Yes.
We get the baddest. What?
The best experience.
Yeah, best experience.
I think you were the only team to score an evasion against Apex.
It was against
Amos.
All against. Yes. So it was nice, but I felt like in the game, I felt that we can do better. Okay. It was our first experience as a team to go to compete against Apex. The Apex, yeah. So and now I think if we will face them now, it will be different results.
And to come back to what you said earlier, and probably everyone can just talk about it. right now, most people that play chase tag come from parkour, some ninja, some other activities, but mostly from parkour. Do you think like that's a new thing, new sport that takes some from parkour but takes from other disciplines? Or do you think that's just like a new evolution of parkour?
I think that's a new evolution of parkour because, like, 10 years ago, it was only jumping, you're doing some stuff, and now it's became professional. So if you want to succeed to success in chase tag, you need to do sprints, jumps, to learn new skills, not only parkour. So I think that it's something new discipline. Yeah.
I think that right now parkour is the best sport to learn for chase tag. But I think that as we develop in the chase tag, we will see more sports go into chase tag as well, and maybe we'll see something that does a little bit better than parkour, because all you need in parkour is like the vaults and the jumps, and that's something that is fairly easy to learn for someone from a different background. So the parkour you need for chase tag is very basic. So that's why I think that as we develop, we will see more sports go into and maybe do better than parkour athletes. That's why when we train, we're not doing only chase tag and not only parkour. We also train other things.
Do you think, like, to some extent, parkour, so that's like jumping, running, vaulting, climbing, and everything, there's like huge parts of parkour movements that you don't need in chase tag. Like you don't need climbing, for example. Usually you don't do depth jumps, like big drops or something. You do some drops, but not big drops. Rolls is really hard to do, like a good roll in chase tag. I've yet to see one on the quad. And even movements, like, to me, when I started playing, I felt like when I play against someone that's like a pure tracer, like someone that does parkour, it's very easy to chase them because what they do is usually the most efficient move. And the most efficient move is also the most obvious one for me behind.
Yeah, you predict.
I can predict. And when you do like the 2 steps before the Kong, I can already know where you're going to go, how fast you're going to land. And to some extent, like we've had people like Loic Georgie or something that came more from like a basketball background, which was very good with like change of direction, having a lower center of body mass and everything. We've had people coming from Ultimate, like the Frisbee and stuff. They were really good at dives. We've had a team in China that is like kind of the SWAT teams for police. And they did chase tag and they won. Like they have one guy that's amazing. And we have people coming from different backgrounds to chase tag. In my eyes, like, yes, you need parkour skills to be like a good chasers, but you only need to be like that good. You don't need to be doing like the big IMAX jumps or anything. You just need to be proficient in jumping and running and vaulting. But then you need more like dives, slides, and everything.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go for it.
I think the most precious skill you need in chase tag is prediction and strategy. When you add those two, and you have the skill, the speed, the change of direction, then you become a master of the chase tag.
So are you spending a lot of time working on strategy for each team? And
Yes, a lot.
so are you watching a lot of videos? Like what are you
I
doing?
watched every video of chase tag.
We know
maybe
when
10 times.
we know when they wake up.
We've got the address.
So Amos, be careful. I know what you eat in the morning.
It's not on Apex anymore.
In France, we see, and I think in the US as well, we see more and more people, because they have access to quads, that start their journey being a chaser straight away. They don't even do parkour. They start from chase tag, and then they go into a team. And one example I use a lot when we do certifications for chase tag is there is one thing that people usually don't look at, and it's soccer. Because for most people doing parkour, soccer is like, that's not a real sport. They just roll on the floor and everything. Yeah. But to some extent, like if you take a goalkeeper, the goalkeeper's objective is to dive, tag something with the hand that's moving fast and in an unpredictable direction, and then be able to land safely without hurting himself. And there is a lot of exercises you can take from a goalkeeper training into your chase tag training that could be useful if you apply it properly and everything. Coming back to your team, we talked about like how you train and everything. We've seen many times when for example, when you came to Lyon and you played against Kimeo as well. To some extent, like we felt like you have a fire inside you and you have like an intensity of play that not every team has. Like you come and you really come to rumble. So I think there is like a few elements there. Like obviously you travel all the way to come. You had to spend more money. Like Kimeo, they were just like, that's our home. It takes 5 minutes to go there. I'm just coming out from my apartment or something. I'm coming to play, and then if I lose, I have the quad tomorrow or something. So that comes back to what you said. Do you think the way you're training, or is it just like your team spirit or something? What do you do that makes it so when you come to play,
You're
You look very like you have proper intensity. You're going for it and you're trying like your best to go. And I've never seen a game of your team playing half-assed. Like, oh, I'm just gonna see
Almost
what's
100.
happening. Yeah. So what would be your advice for other teams? You probably don't want to give advice to other teams.
I think the main things that I can tell is that you must be obsessive to this sport. You need all. If you want to success something in your life, you must be obsessive. So wake up, chase tag, eat chase tag, sleep chase tag. Every day you're training. You wake up in the morning. You look your paper. Yeah, you see. I want to be like, for example, world chase tag champion. You see it every morning. You go to training. You want to. You don't feel enough power to training. You still go to training.
Yeah, you have to put chase tag. I mean, you have to put your passion into your life in a daily basis. It comes back to what Christian said. So when we had Christian and Damien, the founders of Chase Tag, he told us like he has a coffee machine at home, and every time he does a coffee, like the coffee takes exactly 20 seconds to make. So every time he's just getting used to like now it's 20 seconds, and like he just like brings it. Like that's not even training. That's just like, okay, just a piece of equipment that I use every day. That's gonna just in a way train my brain to like, this is 20 seconds. I know exactly what 20 seconds is. That's like, I asked him for the brand of the coffee machine so we can put it on the website. Every chaser is going to buy it. Like, okay, I need a coffee machine.
We will send you some. We are going to buy some of this coffee machine and send it to Israel so that you can train.
You wake up in the morning, chase tag,
all the time.
So did you see the calendar of events on the website? There is like the EMA championship that you'll go to qualify to get to the Worlds. Do you go there to win the EMA championship? Or do you go there just to qualify for the Worlds? Like, what is your mindset like?
Well, if we want to win Worlds, we need to win EMA as well. So the EMA is the easier one.
EMA is the easy one. That's a strong statement. I'm sure every other team is going to be happy with it. Parkour 59, Blacklist, United, they call your name.
So, is there any team you are afraid of facing in Europe? Like
maybe not afraid, but like a team that you think that would be like a bigger
like
challenge.
Good opponents, yeah.
Parkour 59.
Okay, 59? Not Fat, not Eugen, not...
Look, we have some really nice relationship with the Eugens, so it's not we are afraid of them, but it's our more maybe like a dream to compete against them officially.
Yeah, because you did play against them in Netherlands, right?
Yeah, but it was no experience.
Shay Luis.
Half of our team and two of their team.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the biggest.
And if we don't talk about the team, but if you had to pick one athlete that you're the most worried of, when he enters the quad, you're like, oh fuck, that's gonna be complicated.
I think everyone knows the answer.
I mean, everyone has a different answer to that.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, tell yours.
You're gonna have to write it on the paper, then it turns down.
in the world.
In the world, anyone.
Jason.
Jason.
Jason. So no one's mentioning Orlando or anything.
No, Orlando is a really good one, but Jason is...
And Seth?
Jason is scary.
Seth also.
Okay,
So we have a ritual usually. Every time we have like people coming in the podcast, we usually ask them what would be their dream team of Chase Tag. If you could pick like 5 players to build the strongest team possible, who would you pick?
I've already given my players.
Yeah.
And
You can give them again, please?
I can give them again, of course. Let me give, it's here. So I have Jason, Orlando, Rob Schill, Naim from Parkour 59, Emil from Kimeo, and Harun.
Okay. So Stas, pick your first one.
Michael Schweiger.
Michael Schweiger. I pick Carl Soderman.
Okay.
Seth Wong.
Seth Wong.
You pick no one? He picks himself.
He picks no one. You're going to make a team with 3 players.
I'm gonna pick Jared Luty.
Jared Luty, that's a good one. But you're going to pick everyone from Apex. Because Jared is with Apex now.
We're gonna break Apex, so we have a better team.
So you got 4 players.
Soderman. Kyle, no?
Stas
and
one of them.
And Kyle, no?
Soderman, he picked him already.
I picked
Okay.
already. So we need one more.
Luke Stones, I said?
Dima?
Maybe
No. Luke
maybe
Stones.
Dimitri, yeah, maybe Dimitri.
Dimitri? So that's 6 if you pick Dimitri.
Yeah.
No Richard, no Charles Pujat, no Loic Georgie.
No, Dmitry.
No one from Parkour 59, but you said that's the best team that you don't want to face.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but they also said that they are going to win, so it should be all right.
yeah, we came to Toulouse to win.
So you have 4 Americans and 2 guys from Israel.
Yes.
That's a strong one. I'm happy to see that game.
Yeah, it will be crazy. I think we should make a mashup.
Yeah, we're gonna ask everyone their team, and then all the best players, we're gonna just bring them together for like a all-star game.
Yeah, wow, it's
getting crazy.
And while we're talking about team, are you training new players? Are you, I don't know, trying to have like a bigger team, or do you feel like the group you have now is the perfect one and you don't want to change anyone?
Actually, we need to recruit one more.
Yeah, we need to recruit one more.
Okay.
Because we are 5 now.
Okay, so Oleg is not going to be playing with you anymore?
Oleg, no, and also
And
David.
also David, yeah.
Okay.
So now we are 5.
Is it because they don't want to play chase tag anymore? Is it?
It's more
I
like
think
a personal...
Oleg's gonna be involved with Shay Luis. He's still gonna play and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be building a team as well, so
Okay.
which will be great, like for Israel. Like
Yeah.
the more
Yeah,
teams,
it's
the
very
more
good for
events you
us,
can
yeah.
make and everything.
Yeah.
I will be happy to see Oleg on the quad against us. Yeah.
That could be nice, like a nice story
Against
to
us
tell.
or against Stas?
Against us also.
It sounded like against Stas.
That's
And while we talk about it, is there any player that's maybe not like a famous one, like Orlando or Rob or something, that you have your eye on, that you're looking at and be like, that's the future of chase tag, whether in Israel or whether you someone you've seen in other competitions that may not be at the highest level yet, but you think they're gonna reach the highest level?
'Cause maybe you have an opportunity to get the player because of the podcast. We never know.
I don't know, but I think Richard has the most potential to be one
Richard.
of the best. Richard.
Richard Thompson
from
from
Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah, from Eugene.
And why? Like, what's so special about him?
First, because he's obsessed.
Very disciplined.
He is.
Yeah,
Very disciplined, yeah.
Really strong. He likes the sport. So.
Yeah, he loves the sport and he's one of the most experienced athletes. Like he's been there from the very beginning of chase tag
Yes.
with Eugene and everything. So
Yeah, he's always talking about chase tag. He's watching, like you were saying, he's watching video all the time, brushing his teeth, watching videos.
You know,
like,
no,
never
normal person in the evening, Netflix, Chase tag. New episodes of Chase tag.
we only have obsessed people on that podcast. So Christian and Damien, obviously, they're obsessed with World Chase Tag. They turned their life around to make the sport that big. Again, coming back to Mark and Frank, like they were saying, like Frank is obsessed. He's going to Atlanta every week to train there. Mark had the quad like in a garden to train. And he was telling us how his wife was getting upset because he was like focused on chase tag every day. I'm kind of the same. You're kind of the same. So that's great to meet people that are just that excited about chase tag as well.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Go for it. Go for it. Let's
Will
just
you
switch the
make
question.
your team?
I kind of have my team in the sense that I started training Kimeo when they first got created. And then now I'm in a position where it would be weird for me to be like training, like not training, but bringing a team or something, considering like I'm working for World Chase Tag. I'm usually like training the refs, giving certifications and everything. And that's also the reason why I never play. Like I play a lot in training. And I used to play in the all-year competitions we made in France. And then I was like, it's not fair for people. Like if I pick the refs, I pick the location, it's my quad. I decide who can play or who cannot play. And then I'm going to play. And when there is a DTR, you're going to be pissed if I win the DTR. You're like, of course he's going to win it. Like the refs is going to be his friend. That's like the game doesn't
So
win.
the tag must be obvious.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, true. But like, yeah, to some extent, it's like organizing events and stuff take that much energy and time, but you can't do both. You can't be playing and organizing. And right now, I want to see the sport grow as much as possible. So I'm focusing all my energy into it. I still train. I love the sport and everything, and I train every chance I get. But I think if I was just playing, maybe it would develop a bit slower. And we're trying to find ways for athletes to get like exposure, to get like revenue, and to do other things.
So that you could spend all of your days training chase tag. That's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah. The gym, really.
Yeah.
Making it a worldwide like sport recognized by everyone. That's like a full-time job. I know like Christian, Damien, obviously, Johnny as well, Mike, us, the guys, Mark Turok, Link Parkour in China, Martin in New Zealand. Like lots of people are just like focusing fully on developing the sport. And that's needed if we want to be able to push in a way that we don't fall in the same issue I think we've had with parkour in some way, where it's really hard for someone to make a living if you're not either a top influencer, which is really hard to make, even if you're like working a lot, or be a coach. That's kind of the two only ways. Maybe be owning a gym, but if you don't do that, you can't really like there's not much place for someone that would want to work on communication or would want to be an athlete or something that's really hard. It will still be hard because being a professional athlete is not for everyone, and that's a lot of work involved.
Yeah.
You've been playing for 3 years, like before COVID and started and everything. You went to competitions in Amsterdam, London, Lyon, now Toulouse. How do you see the sport World Chase Tag growing in Israel? Like, how do you see? Did you see a difference in the 3 years? Is it going up? Like more people coming, more exposure to the sport and everything, or is it stable? Like it's not gaining more exposure? Or how do you feel about the growth of the sport in your country?
Maybe Shay can answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting much more exposure because when we started, we were only like 10 people that came to the auditions, and we didn't have a lot of people to pick from. And now we already have a second team in Israel. There are a lot of people that are coming every week to train. We have monthly Chase Tag events, so everybody comes, trains together. Like we have 20, 30 people that are coming.
I know you have a big WhatsApp group as well with many.
Yeah,
people.
we have a big WhatsApp group, and we're really trying to push the sport in Israel to get as many teams as we can. Really want to be big and to have like even a local league in Israel, so we can have a few really good teams.
What would be your advices to people that want to start doing Chase Tag, even though they don't have a quad, to just start like building a community, bringing people to them? What should be the first steps they should take to create that you've done in Israel?
Yeah. Make a meeting. Like you don't need a lot to do a Chase Tag arena. Like it doesn't have to be a quad, but it can be like an obstacle. Like we trained for 1 year in a park, so everyone can do it.
Yeah, as they would say, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just get out and start tagging.
Tag random people, like.
In the street, big.
So my last question would be like, maybe each of you can have a different answer, but what makes World Chase Tag unique in your eyes? Like, why do you love the sport, and what makes it unique in your eyes that you couldn't find in other sports?
I think the most unique part of World Chase Tag is the community that it's united about this idea. Like, look, you're one of the community. We are also inside of the community. It's not like that we are waiting for you to make miracles for us. We all work together to develop the sport. This is the most, I think, most amazing part about it. If you have something else.
No one wants to say.
Well, it was a good answer, to be honest. So maybe, yeah, we could finish with this.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
you very much for having us.
Thank you.
And yeah, good luck for today. No pressure, but you have to win. But it's going to be all right.
He says that to everyone, so don't take it personally. You have to win. If you don't,
That's okay. Like, honestly.
Go home.
No podcast.
we won't publish it. If you will, if you do like World Chase Tag is only for winners.